All right, y'all. We're live here with the Los Angeles Poet Society. I am the journal editor, Rosie. And before we start, I just want to say Feliz Dia de los Muertos. And here at the Los Angeles Poet Society, we want to honor those that have passed on, especially the people that have passed away from the ongoing pandemic. So we just want to honor those. And I also want to take the time to honor the native land that we're on, the Luismeño land and Kuiyu land. All right, so today we're gonna make sugar skulls out of clay, and we're also gonna write an offering poem. So we're gonna start with the offering poem first. And the offering poem is by Jimmy Santiago Baca. So I'm gonna read it first, and I'm gonna read it in English and in Spanish. But the reason I chose this poem, especially for today, is because, you know, en Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, it's a day that we offer something or ourselves to those that have passed on. And it's a day of offering and a day of love and a day of honoring. So I feel this poem has all those elements in it, and I think it's really beautiful. So I'm going to read it to you. This is called I Am Offering This Poem by Jimmy Santiago Baca. I am offering this poem to you, since I have nothing else to give. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is a scarf for your head to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction. In the wilderness, life becomes when mature. And in the corner of your drawer, tucked away like a cabin or Hogan, in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer, give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire, rest by this fire, and make you feel safe. I love you. It's all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live, and to go on living inside when the world outside no longer cares if you live or die. Remember, I love you. I'm going to read it in Spanish now. Te ofrezco este poema. Te ofrezco este poema, pues no tengo otra cosa que dar. Guárdalo como un abrigo caliente cuando llegue el invierno a cubrirte, o como un par de calcetas gruesas a través de las cuales el frío no puede morder. Te amo. No tengo otra cosa que darte. Entonces es una olla llena de maíz amarillo para calentar tu barriga en el invierno. Es una bufanda para tu cabeza, para usar sobre tu pelo, para ajustar el torno a tu cara. Te amo. Guárdalo, atesóralo como si estuvieras perdida, buscando orientación en el páramo en que se convierte la vida cuando madura. Y en la esquina de tu cajón, guárdalo como una cabaña o choza entre árboles densos. Llama a mi puerta y yo contestaré. Te daré indicaciones y te dejaré calentarte junto a esta lumbre, descansar junto a esta lumbre y te haré sentir segura. Te amo. Es todo lo que tengo para dar y todo lo que uno necesita para vivir y seguir viviendo por dentro cuando al mundo afuera ya no le importa si vives o mueres. Recuerda, te amo. That was an offering poem by Jimmy Santiago Vaca. And it's a really, really beautiful poem in both English and Spanish. So now the writing part. And this is a really fun part. I feel that, you know, even if you haven't written a poem before, or if you only write, you know, occasionally, this is a really nice poem to explore. So so you know, if you have pen and paper, I just want you to think like if you had something to offer someone or something, what would you offer them? And they could be alive or they could be passed on. And it's also an offering poem where you could offer something to your surroundings as well, right? It could be the earth, it could be our pets, our bed, just something really significant and special to you that you want to give something in return, right? So, for instance, like in this poem, in Jimmy Santiago Vaca's poem, he has a line, well, he begins with the line, I am offering this poem to you. So the way I like to structure this writing part is you can start the poem like that. You can start the poem with the line, I am offering this poem to you. So I'm gonna, let's see if I put the camera to face the poem. Or actually, I'll just do this. So you could start with that line. And I like starting with that line because it kind of helps you start or give you an idea of how to start the poem at least. And as you go through with the poem, you could also keep repeating, I am offering, I am offering, I am offering. You could keep that repetition going. And as you go, that repetition sounds really powerful when you read it out loud. It kind of sounds like a chant or an invocation. So in that sense, you could begin the poem, I am offering this poem to whatever you choose, right? So before we write, I do like to kind of give time to brainstorm some ideas of, you know, what it is you want to offer, whatever you want to offer this poem to. You know, you could, like I said, you could offer it to a person, to an animal, to the earth, to the plants, you know, to your guitar. It could be anything that's really special and significant and something that gives you something. So, for instance, you know, if you're a musician and you play guitar and that guitar is very, when you play it, it's very therapeutic and it's just really fun, right? It gives you, that's what it gives you. So now you could think, okay, what can I give it in return? What can I give my guitar? Also, like like a tree, right? If you have like I have lemon trees in my yard. So let's say like my lemon tree gives me trees. I'm sorry, my lemon tree gives me lemons, right? And it gives me, with those lemons, I also have like, it gives you nutrients and things like that. So what can I give it in return? You know, I could think of like the simple things, you know, of course, water and sunlight. Um, but as poets, if you put, you know, as poets, we tend to, you know, think outside of the box in a sense, right? You try to use your imagination or push your imagination as much as possible. So, for instance, sure, I could give my lemon tree um, water and sunlight, but as a poet, as an artist, what else can I do, you know, with my imagination to make the poem pop, to make it more, to make it different, to make it unique? So, for instance, like this is just an example. Let's say like I see my cat in the yard, like cleaning himself, right, or shaking, kind. You know, when cats like shake their fur and like the fur goes everywhere. Like let's say like a piece of, or like a fluff of my cat's fur kind of like flies or floats with the wind, and it lands on the tree. And then the next day I wake up and, you know, there's a lemon flower blooming where my cat's fur landed. So, you know, I could say that I'm giving my tree, my lemon tree, my cat's fur as a gift. You know, that's something that's different, right? And it's kind of, it's, you want to be weird. That's the thing. If it sounds weird, like you want that. I mean, because it's different. It's very unique, and it's when you read it, it catches the attention. You know, because it's not as basic as like sunlight and water. Cat's fur is just something different. Who does that? You know, you kind of, you want to be that person that uses that kind of imagination. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, these are just examples. You don't, of course, you don't have to write that. But just what I'm saying is just think outside of the box, push your imagination, and see what you come up with. So, you know, you could be brainstorming right now, thinking of different ideas. You know, what you want to offer the person or the place, or, you know, the object that you're thinking of in your head. But as you go, and like I said, like the beginning line could be, I am offering this poem to you. Or if you don't want to say you could say, I am offering this poem to my guitar. I'm offering this poem to my cat. Or, you know, just whatever you choose. You could start it like that. And then as you go, you could talk about what you offer. And then, you know, you could repeat, I am offering this whatever object or whatever type of um, thing you want to give, or feeling. It doesn't have to be a thing, it could be a feeling. You know, I offer you, you could say love, but that's kind of abstract. You know, you could say something more. The thing with poetry, you want to get as detailed as possible. So you could say, let's say I was writing a poem for my cat. You know, instead of saying, I offer you love, which is fine. You could say that too, you know, but you want to push, you want to keep pushing, and you want to really, really be specific. That's what, you know, poetry, you really want to get as specific as possible, and you want to get as detailed as possible, because that's what makes a poem really strong And if you're familiar with haikus, haikus are just 3-line poems, but they're very, very specific. Like the writer of haikus zooms in, really, really zooms in, and then sometimes zooms out and then zooms back in. So in poetry, you could, it's really fun to do that too. You want to just get really, really detailed instead of saying, like, my cat sleeps under the tree. Be specific. My one-eyed brown cat sleeps under the orange tree, right? That's more specific. Like you could see it, when you read it, the person that's listening to the poem or reading the poem could see that image. So you want to do that. You want to get as specific as possible with that. But yeah, like I was saying, like, let's say I'm writing a poem for my cat. Instead of saying like, I'm offering you love, you could try to be more specific. Like, how else can you describe love? You could say, I'm offering you a a cooked shrimp, or something like that. Like that shows love, right? You wanna show it. You don't wanna say it. You know what I mean? Like offering shrimp, that's showing like love, right? You're cooking specifically for your cat, or you're you saved like the last shrimp of your meal for him. Like you're thinking of him, right? So it's kind of like you're showing that love instead of saying, I offer you love. So yeah, you just want to just get, specific, and you could brainstorm for now. And as you brainstorm, I'm gonna gather my paint and skulls for the next section of our workshop. So I'm just gonna let y'all write for, maybe a minute, and I'm gonna have this guitar music playing in the background while I go and gather my things. All right, y'all. So if y'all have like any poems that you write during this workshop and you want to share it with the LA Poet Society, we would love to see your work and see what y'all came up with. You could email it, and I'll have that info at the end, or DM the LA Poet Society Instagram page. That would be really dope to see what y'all come up with. All right, so we're gonna do the second part of the workshop, which is the sugar skull making, which I know a lot of y'all were excited to do. So before we begin, I just want to show y'all what I have. You know, if you have clay already. So the clay that I recommend for like to make sugar skulls, you really could use any clay, but the one I really like is this one, Creative Paper Clay, and I got this at Michael's for like $8. So it's not too pricey, and it's a good like chunk of clay. But the reason I really like this clay specifically is because it dries super quick. You know, it dries within like maybe, I don't know, an hour, or even as you're going, like as you're making your project. And if you don't like put water on it, it'll dry. Not to the point where you can't like use it anymore, or you know, start all over if you want to, but you know, it dries pretty quick. So you know, if you want to like get painting right away and you want to like start like working on whatever project, even if you're not making a sugar skull, like this clay doesn't take a day, or sometimes other clay that you get takes like 3 days to dry. And it's also an air dry, so you don't need an oven. So it's just less, it's simpler, you know, it's less tools. And if you don't have an oven, like it's better. Yeah, I just left it outside, and it dried within like an hour. So yeah, anyway, so this clay is really good. You could get it at like any craft store, but this one I got it at Michael's, and it was like $7.99, I think. There's always coupons and things like that. You know, if y'all looking for a deal, this is the best. I feel is a good clay. And so yeah, I just have my paints ready. Just acrylic type, nothing fancy. There's better paints out there, but you know, if you're just beginning and you don't really mind what kind of paint you get, I just, you know, whatever, just these are like 70 cents also, like at Michael's, or you know, you could get at like craft stores. And I have just paintbrushes. You can also get at any craft store. And then I also have these little pom-pom balls. I got these at Michael's as well. And but you don't, you know, to make a sugar skull, when I put like the little flyer up on IG, you don't really need, you just need paint. But if you want, this is all optional, of course. You know, if you want to make it, you know, if you're extra like me, like you could just put like, you could also like add like things like this, like glitter, paper mache. I don't know. That's a cool thing. You know, you could just be creative and use your imagination. You know, just go all out if you want, or you just could be like, keep it simple and nice and just paint it. You know, traditional. That's all good too. So yeah, that's basically all you need. Just need paint, your paintbrushes, your clay, of course, and then just, you know, you need water for sure you need water as you go, because water is like super important, because as you're making like the sugar skull, you're gonna need to dip your fingers in it to like smooth it out and make it softer to be able to like bend and things like that. So, you know, if you don't have your water ready, make sure you have a good amount of water. Just paintbrush it. This skull I made like I think I made it 2 days ago, or yeah, 2 days ago, and I like it. It came out cool, but I think I used too much clay, because I think the back, like where the brain is, it's a little bit, it's kind of like too like wide, but it's okay, you know. It's a skull. That's the cool thing about skulls, that you don't want it to be perfect. Like, you know, you it could be like the jaw could be like crooked, or the teeth could be missing, or the one eye could be bigger. Like, it doesn't matter like that. You kind of want that, you know. You kind of want it to be different. So yeah, this is the one I made. So this is the one that I'm gonna paint over, because it's already um like hard. You could, so once it gets hard like this, like you can't use this clay anymore. It's like, you know, this would, if it falls, like it would break. So yeah, so this is already ready to like be painted, you know, and it looks cool like this. Like I could just leave it like this if I wanted like a Halloween type of score or something like that. This is pretty dope like this. So yeah, that's just gonna be like the example one that I make. But so today for this workshop, we're gonna make a skull that's this size. However, you know, once you leave this workshop, you could make a skull, or even now, like if you have a lot of clay, you can make a big one, or you can make little ones too. Like, that's all up to you. I'm just showing how to like sculpt it and things like that. So yeah, this is just gonna be the example one that I'm going to use, but I am gonna show you how to make it. So I used to do this workshop a lot with like elementary school kids when I worked at an elementary school, and they love this workshop, because, you know, who doesn't want to, you know, mess with clay, you know, when we're little kids, or even now, like clay and like Play-Doh, you just want to like make stuff with your hands, you know. So this workshop was really cool. Even the poetry part, they really loved it, and I really loved seeing how, you know, people come up with like their poems, because that's the thing about poems. No poem is exactly the same. Even if two people write about their cat, and I know I'm talking a lot about cats, but I'm obsessed with cats. So yeah, let's say two people write about their cat, it's not going to be exactly the same, you know. So it's just really, really awesome to see how people's brains work. It's just, I don't know, it's fascinating to me. It's just, yeah. So I just want to show you these other little example skulls. These are not made of clay. Yeah, these are just, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure what the material is, but this one I got as a birthday gift, but they sell these like in Tijuana, or like in Venice Beach, or I think on like La Placita Olvera too, if you're from LA. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to show you this one to you, just to see like the variation of like types of schools you could paint today. You know, this one's just like a Dodger one. This is like a more traditional like looking one. Right, this one's pretty cool. This is also not made of clay. It's the same material as this. But you know, it has like flowers. This one's hand painted. Both of them are hand painted. They're really cool, you know. And I just wanted to show these because, you know, just the variation, even like the nose is different. you know, the eyes are circular, but you know, the colors, you know, the artist just, it's up to the artist just using their imagination. But I also just wanted to point out that these skulls are just like, they're not perfect. Um, and they're not perfect in the sense that like, if you could see, and I'm not sure how like clear that is, but the jaw for this skull is like off to the right. It's crooked, but that's cool. Like, you know, that's cool. It's a skull. That's what makes it unique. Um, so yeah, and even like the smile, like it's not a perfect. It's not a perfect smile. It's very it's not symmetrical. So, you know, it's unique. It stands out. And even this one, like, also the jaw and the smile is crooked. I think there's eyes a little lower than this one. Um, but I remember I picked this out at Cal State San Bernardino. That's my school, and there were vendors there, and they were selling these, and in a row of like perfect looking skulls, I picked this one because it stood out, because this was the one with like the crooked jaw. So as poets, as artists, we celebrate the difference, right? We celebrate, in a sense, like mistakes, or we celebrate um just yeah, just differences. We celebrate what people, or what not people, but what society deems ugly or not acceptable, right? We, as artists, as poets, we rebel against that, and we say no. Like, you know what? This is actually beautiful. This is unique. This is different. It stands out from the rest. So that's not the reason why I got it. I got it because I just thought it was cool that like the jaw was like crooked, and it did stand out as I was walking through campus. This is the one that like popped out, um, because of the colors, but also you know, the skull. And I just like how the artist just kept going. They just didn't like toss it because it was crooked, you know. So, you know, you just want to like I'm just saying this because as you go and as you're making your own school, like, you know, if you don't like how it comes out, of course you could start over, but you know, don't worry about it. Just have fun. And that's what I want to say, like, before we start, is if you're getting stressed out making like a skull or doing this part of the workshop, like, you know, breathe, walk, go take a little walk, or, you know, meditate, pet your cat. I don't know, because you don't want to be stressed out. You want to enjoy. Okay, you want to enjoy making the skull, and that goes for like everything, right? You want to enjoy writing a poem, um because when you get stressed out, that it's just not fun. That's, you're just not enjoying yourself anymore. And of course you want to enjoy yourself, you know. So I just said that because like when I was making this one, I got a little stressed out because it had been a while um that I had made like a skull, you know, because we haven't been in school and stuff like that. So I got kind of stressed making this because the shape didn't, you know, I just kind of just set it aside for a bit, and then I came back to it. And, you know, once I had fun, I was like, okay, now I'm having fun. Now it's a good time. So I don't know. I like it. It came out cool. All right. Anyway, sorry, I'm just like talking. Um, so let's start. So if you have clay, you're probably not going to be able to work on your skull right away because it's not going to be like dry. But if you have this type of clay, or, you know, if you just want to watch, like, you could just watch, and then once once yours dries, of course you could go back and paint it and decorate it and stuff like that. Okay. So if you want, you could use this whole thing, and if you use the whole thing, I think it's going to come out a little bit bigger than this, and a little bit like thicker. It's probably going to be like over here. or and like this, maybe this tall or something like that. But you know, judging from that one, I'm just gonna break it. I'm not gonna use all of them, and I'm gonna use like maybe like a little bit more than half, I would say. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. So like I said, it was like a little bit more than half. I just pour it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So before, like, so the first step to make the skull is to, you're just gonna roll the clay. You want to make it into a ball. So see how it goes into like a rectangle. You and this clay, it's soft. Right from like the bag, it's already soft. So you don't really struggle with shaping it. So to help you sculpt it better, that's when the water comes in. You just, you know, don't put the ball, like don't soak it in. You don't want to like dip it in. You want to just dip your fingers a little bit. You don't have to like go too much, but you just want to dip your fingers and just like rub it, and that makes the clay softer and easier to form. So as you make the ball, you see how there's some cracks? You want to smooth those out. So the way you smooth cracks in with clay, you just, you know, you just dip your fingers again and you just rub it out. Just rub it out. Just like that. So you just want to keep going until you have a pretty good kind of formed ball, and you don't have a lot of cracks. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to get it into like a ball form. So you just, you know, smooth it as you go. You just see where the cracks are, and you just want to smooth it out as best you can with your hand. And just go. Give a little pat. Smooth it. Right. It doesn't like it has to be like 100% round without cracks. So you just keep dipping in. You need to smooth it out more. It needs to be softer. You just water. You know, water is like super handy to have when you're working with clay. So there you go. You just make into kind of the ball shape or oval. You know, just basically just circular. You just want to get it circular. Okay. All right. So the next step, after you have it in a circle, we want to. So you, after you make it into a ball, you're gonna take your thumb and you're gonna push it through. It doesn't matter where. You just need to push your thumb through, like in the middle. It doesn't matter which side, but you just have to do it in like in the middle of whatever side you want in, and you just push your thumb in. Don't go all the way. Like you don't want to push your thumb out, but you want to push it in enough, because you're gonna make a hole here. So you just keep rotating your thumb and like pushing the clay to the side as you're, and this might happen. Like you might get a crack. It's okay. You just smooth it out. So you go back and just with your thumb, you're just pushing. You're kind of just pushing and rotating. You just want to make like a hole. So, like I said, it doesn't have to, you don't have to go like, you don't want to push your thumb up, but you know, as much as possible where it doesn't come out. So, okay, so it should look kind of like this. You just want, you know, you just want a hole. You know, I'll tell you the reason why you need to make a hole in the clay. And it doesn't have to be too wide, you know, but just something like this, something like as you rotate your thumb, you're just pushing like that. You're just pushing the clay softly as you go, and it should get like, kind of like this wide. Yes, like that. And it's okay, like if your clay starts cracking, like you're gonna shape it into a skull anyway. You're not gonna keep it in this shape, so it doesn't. Just don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So you just, let's say I just did this. Okay. So now, you know, if yours cracks or when you push it and like a hole happens here, just get water. Just dip your fingers in water and just smooth it out again. You know, that's pretty much all you have to do. You don't have to start over. You just have to just smooth the clay like that. There you go. Okay, so the reason you want a hole in the clay is because if you don't make a hole and it's not hollow, like once you, like let's say I didn't do this, if I left it like, if it's okay, if it wasn't hollow, my skull would fall apart, or it would be way easier for it to crack when it's dried. And it's also, you know, a good idea to make this, because if you want your eyes to be hollow like this, and your nose, or your teeth, you know, I didn't do that, but it's easier to push the clay out, and we'll do that later when we get to that part. But it's easier to push the clay out when it's hollow, you know, as opposed to it not being hollow. Yeah, so it's just that, it's better for like this shape of what we're doing. It's just better for it to be hollow, basically. And you know, it's your choice if you want to make your eyes hollow or not, or in the nose and stuff like that. But you know, for this sake, we are gonna make it hollow. But of course, it's your choice. Okay, so after that part, what you're gonna do now is now you're gonna form it into a skull shape. And what kind of helped me is, you know, looking at like an example of just another skull, if you have one, of course. But you know, I'm showing you, so you kind of don't need that anyway. But what you're gonna do now is you're going to now make the skull shape. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna want, so let me show you this. So you're gonna want one part of your ball. This part is gonna be like, it's gonna go out because that's where like the brain is. And this part, like over here, like you see, it's gonna be wider and it's gonna be fatter. and then over here it's going to be thinner. So what you could do is you're going to take your thumb, whichever thumb, and you're just going to kind of push. So okay, so I'm going to make the back, like I'm going to start shaping it. So here I'm going to like start shaping the back, and you're just going to, with your thumb, you're just going to push, keep pushing, you know, slowly and carefully where it doesn't break. And my, so this is the thing about this clay, it's already kind of, it's not getting hard, but I'm gonna need to add water to make it softer. So you just wanna kind of keep pushing to make the skull, to make the back of the skull. And what you could also do is you push, you kind of wanna, so where the mouth and the face is, it's going to be thinner. So you're going to keep pushing out. And then as you push out, the hole should be where the face is, the hole should be skinnier, it should be thinner. So, you know, instead of a circle now, it's going to be like a teardrop shape. And where the pointy of the teardrop is, that's where your face is. You see that? Like the pointy part, that's going to be your face. So the way I did that, you know, it was a hole, right? It was a circle, but I'm just like, I'm pushing with my thumb. So you just push with your thumb, you know, slowly. And if it look like that might happen, it's okay. Like you just get water, like you say, you just get water and you just smooth it out. Smooth it out. So as I go, now I'm gonna push out for like the brain part, or like the top. And it's okay if like it's gonna look weird at first because we're just sculpting it right now. We're just forming it. So if you're doing it and it doesn't look like a skull and it still looks kind of like a ball or whatever, it's okay, because basically right now we're just forming it. And as we go on, as we like once we make like the face and the eyes, it's like it's gonna change. You're gonna see it look more like a skull. Trust me. It's just, you know, it just step by step. So yeah. So let's just keep forming. So what I also like to do is, okay, so you're just gonna keep forming. And it's okay. Like this is kind of breaking. It's okay. It's all good. And the cool thing about clay too is that if you wanted to, if like you don't like how it looks, or you're just like, oh, I changed my mind, I kind of want a smaller type of skull, or, you know, I changed my mind, I want a bigger one, you could always start over. You just add water and basically start over. It's a really cool thing about clay, you know. You can start over before it dries. So also the more water you add, the softer and easier it is for you to sculpt the clay. But you don't want to add too much water because then it gets really soft and it's easier for it to like break apart. So right now I'm just fixing the some of the creases and cracks that occurred as I was shaping. And so what I'm doing right now, it's because you could feel it when, you know, in your school, like feeling that this part, this side, is way thicker. Like it has more clay than this side. It's thinner. So that's why I'm getting more cracks on this side because it's not as thick as this side. So what I'm doing is I'm just, I'm just wetting my thumb and I'm just moving. Like this is also cool. Like you could just move, kind of like move the clay from one side to the other, like that. You just kind of push it very, very softly because you don't want it to like break apart, So that's just what I'm doing right now. So see, I had like a crack right here, but right now I'm just putting more clay right there and I'm just smoothing it out. And just add more clay. Just push more clay. Like if I noticed that right here, like it wasn't even, and it's okay if it's not even. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like perfect. But it was like bugging me because it's up to you. It's what you like, right? So right now I'm just fixing that part because I just wanted. There you go. Yeah, this is a really fun. Skulls are really fun to make. I like skulls a lot. I used to have a skull tattoo here, but now I have a flower. It was a Misfits. If any of you are punks or into punk music, I had a Misfits tattoo there. And I had it for a while. I think I got it when I was like 20 or so. I was really into like punk shows. I grew up in East LA, so I was really into punk music and going to shows when I was a kid and a teenager. It was really a cool part of my childhood. It's that punk scene, that ska scene. If y'all from LA, you know what I'm talking about. Even in the IE, I'm in the IE right now, and punk is a very it's prominent over here too. There's especially like in Fontana, Bloomington, you'll find some punk shows. Probably not right now because of the virus, but without the virus, the IE is pretty popping too with the punks. So yeah, but I got it covered because I don't know. I'm just not. I still really love the Misfits and skulls and things like. Oh, I have a sugar skull here actually. That was one of my first tattoos. But yeah, I just wanted a different kind of sleeve. I don't know. Tattoos are permanent, of course, but you can always cover them up, so you kind of cheat that I guess that idea that they're permanent because you could always get cover-ups, So I don't know. That was yeah. I was just talking because I'm still smoothing this out. So this part does take a while, but it's fun if you have the time. Like this, making the skull could take you some time, and it's chill. It's just I honestly I love feeling my hands in the skull. I mean in the with the clay. I like feeling the clay in my hands. It feels really like it's just soft. It's kind of like even like therapeutic in a sense. It kind of feels when you go to the beach and you take off your shoes shoes and you're just walking barefoot in the sand, especially like with the sand that's wet. That's how it feels, but in my hands. I was just thinking about that. That feels like the ocean. Okay, so all right, so now it looks okay. I haven't shaped into a skull yet, but I was just fixing that. So like I said, like, you know, if you see a part that's not as even, you're not liking a certain part of it, of course, you know, you want to like it. It's going to be your skull, so take as much time as you like. And yeah, I could, I don't know, I like this feeling of the clay, so I could do this all day. But okay, all right, so now it's much better. And I did want to move, like, I did want to make it even in the sense where, like, I didn't want this to be as thin as this part, because if it's thinner, like, there's a higher chance for it to fall apart. So you do want it to, you know, to be sturdy. All right. Okay, so the skull, and you just want to add more water as you go to, like, the whole head, because let's say like, since I was working on just this side, like the other parts of the skull started to kind of start to dry, so it's easier for it to crack. So, you know, if you were focusing on just on one side, you want to, before you keep shaping it, you want to add water to make it soft, because it will break or crack. So I'm just adding water to, like, the whole thing. All right, so now we're gonna see how it's, like, cracking. It's okay, we're just gonna smooth it out. So I'm just, so I'm working on the back of the head right now. So what I'm doing, I just put my thumb again. And that's the other thing about the hole, is that it's just easier. It helps you, it guides you to shape your skull. So, you know, put your thumb and then you're just gonna push out. Right now I'm working on the back. So you wanna get that shape of the skull where it's kind of like, you know, there's like a ball, like it's fatter, where like, you know, the brain and stuff is. So you just wanna keep pushing that out with your thumb. You know. All right. Now, so for this part, you could leave it like this. See how, do you see how that is? I'm not done with this side yet, so that's why it still looks like a circle. But this side, it's kind of like the brain. I already like it. Like, I like how it's, like, kind of like circular up here. So here, you kind of, what I do is just, I take these fingers here, and my thumb is going here again inside. So what I'm doing with these, I'm just pushing here, let's see what's the best angle. So I'm just pushing this in with these 3 fingers. I'm just pushing in softly. This, just the bottom, not the top, because you still want that, the brain, you still want the circle to, like, be out, but you want this in. But this is also a choice too, but if you want it to look more like a traditional skull, this is, like, what to do. Basically, this is kind of what I do. I just put my fingers, I'm just slowly and softly, I'm pushing just this part in. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just pushing in. So do it softly, because you don't want your fingers to go all the way inside. You just want to do it softly, patiently. Like, now what I'm doing is I'm slowly squeezing like this. So this If this was inside the skull, I'm just going like this. I'm pinching it, like slowly, like that. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay. Okay, so see how now it's kind of more. It's not a skull. It's not a skull yet, but it's now I have more like. See now like this, the circle is kind of like more out, and this is more in. So, and you could keep, if you want to stop there, if you're like, okay, that's cool, like, yeah, you could stop there. I'm just gonna go a little bit more. I'm just pushing in, slowly pinching. All right, so I'm just smooth it out too. So yeah, there's gonna be like a slant. You know, you want it to be, you want it to have like a small kind of slant at the end, where it's like a ball up here, and then it goes in. There's a ball, and then it just slants down like that. So I'm not sure if you could. Oh, okay, see now you could kind of see that more in this angle, and you could kind of take like your finger and kind of just smooth it out more, so it could like pop out more. You see that? You see how there's like, it goes like that, and then it goes down. You kind of want that to make your skull, the skull shape. So you just smooth it out. And I'm just gonna pinch it a little bit more, just a little bit, just one more time, softly. And again, it's just your 3 fingers, and your thumb is gonna go inside the skull like this, and then these 3 fingers are gonna stay out, and you're just gonna push slowly, softly. And you could feel it, you know, follow what feels right, you know. So okay, so now I did that. And now I'm gonna just smooth it down like that. And it's okay if it's just kind of like pointy here, and you could always fix it. You're just, you know, as you go, just smooth it out. Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep kind of making the brain. And you might have like the imprints of your finger. You could just smooth it out, so you won't have like the lines where your fingers were. You just smooth it. Of course, get water. Dip your fingers in water if you need to make it softer. Okay, so you see how it's like kind of like that? It's like a ball, and then it goes down. This is the back. This is the back of the head. This part. And you just want to form it right now. You could always go back and like if I don't like it, and I want to make this more out, I could always go back. But right now I'm satisfied with this. So I'm just gonna, now I'm gonna work on the front, on like the front of the skull. So what you're gonna do now, you're gonna you're still working like with this. You're still, now your thumb, put it inside here again. Put it inside the skull, but now you're gonna work on the front of the face. So you're just pushing it out, because this is the part where you kind of want it to be. You want this. You want the face. The face is gonna be thinner than like the brain and like the back. So you just wanna, you're just pushing it out more. Like I said, remember I said like it's gonna be like a teardrop. So you want like the pointy part of the teardrop to be the face. So you're just pushing it slowly, of course, and like I said, it's gonna be okay if it cracks. Like right now, it's kind of cracking on me again. Just go back, and smooth it out. It's not a big deal. All right, so I'm just pushing right now. Just pushing, pushing. And I think because this side is still a little thinner, that's what's kind of breaking. Maybe it's okay though. We're learning together. Great. All right, so as this is the next part, as I push, as you're pushing, right? You're pushing, and as you push, you might like mess this side, not mess it up, but let's say you're pushing, and then like with this hand, you're kind of like you push this out or whatever. It's okay. You could fix that later. Don't worry about that. You just wanted the shape right now. So I'm pushing, and as you push, so as you push to make the face or to shape the face with these, like, you know, as you're pushing like with your thumb, right? With these two, with your fingers, you could already like um you could already shape the eyes in the sense that as you're pushing, you could already like know where the eyes are gonna be. See, like this is the bottom, and I'm pushing, right? But with these fingers, since they're not occupied, I could already be like, okay, this is where the eyes are gonna be. So, and this isn't like, this is just the kind of like 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 a blueprint. This isn't where your eyes are gonna be here, but they're not gonna look like this. You just want kind of like something to guide you, basically. So with, you know, I'm kind of softly pushing my fingers of the eyes, and you could just slowly, to make the eyes, you're just like this. I'm just moving my fingers, basically. Like I said, you just want kind of like an outline to see where the eyes are gonna be. So as you go, just and see if you have like any cracks, and then you just smooth it. It's all good. And remember, like if it's not, if your skull right now doesn't look like the skull, it's okay, because like I said, once we make like the eyes is really what's going to shape the face, because that's when like the cheekbones come out, and that's when you're like, okay, now it looks like a skull. So right now, if yours is just looking like, I don't know, just, it's okay, like you'll get there. Where, yeah, it's just step by step. Okay. All right, so again, you can just move the eyes. There you go. Just move the eyes. Yeah, another thing you could do, is probably what I'm gonna do. You know, I don't want to take too much time, and since you could also just get like I didn't use this, so I'm just gonna, because what I could do is I could keep pushing like from this thicker side to the thinner side, but you know, just for time's sake, you could also just get like a piece of unused clay, smooth it out with your hand and with water. And basically, it doesn't matter. I think basically it's stick it from the outside or the inside. It doesn't matter. But I'm just gonna put it from the inside right now. It's basically I'm putting like a band-aid because this side, like, see how like this side it just keeps cracking, and then it's because this side is thicker. And well, you could see this side is thicker, but it's not a big deal because I'm getting more clay and I'm just sticking it in here and I'm just smoothing it out. So I'm basically making this side thick like this with more clay. So, sometimes this happens. You just have to work with it, And sometimes when you make your stone, if you don't get cracks, it's like super perfect the first time you do it. That's awesome, But there's other times when, I've done this a couple times, but there's still times like right now where like, it didn't come out as smoothly the first time. And it's okay. Like you fix it, like I said, like you don't want this activity to stress you out. It's really like it should be a fun thing, and you should be enjoying yourself. So you don't want to get stressed out that a part of it keeps breaking and whatnot. You just find a way to fix it and go back to it being fun. Okay, so now I'm just smoothing it out because I just need to smooth it out. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And you could eye it, you could eye it. That's why I didn't like say any measurements at the beginning or, things like that, because honestly, like I just, I'm just eyeing it. I'm just going with what feels right to me. I didn't want to, I don't know, I just, when it comes to like art, I just don't like being so technical. I know sometimes you have to be with some certain types of art and things like that, but I don't like constricting my imagination. Or I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy. That could also be it. But I just you just learn as you go. See what happens. Let it surprise you. Be spontaneous. I think that's the Leo in me speaking right now. Jessica's watching. She knows what I'm talking about. That's spontaneous. All right. Okay, so now, see, now it's a little bit better. Now it's a little bit better. Right now it's kind of like, you could kind of tell where I added clay, but just water. Like that. See? Like magic. It's like it never happened. I love clay because I don't know, you could just make different stuff, but I love how just like easy it is to just fix a part that you don't like or start all over if you want. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. So I fixed that already, smoothing it out. All right, so now we could keep. I'm gonna keep going with the face. So as I was saying, I'm pushing it out to make the face, because you want it to be thinner. The face is like this example. You see how like skinnier, right? It gets thinner. That's exactly what you're doing with this, with your clay. That's exactly like the form that you want. Um, so I'm just pushing it out, and see, that's how it looks right now. It's okay. So I'm just pushing it out, and as you go, as I was saying, as I'm pushing it out with my thumb, I could already be adding like the eyes, like that. Okay. All right. So right now I'm looking at it and it looks kind of weird and kind of off. I think this one's gonna be kind of like crooked, but that's okay. But of course, if you don't like that, if you're like, no, I want it to be even, you know, you of course fix it. You know, whatever feels right to you and whatever you like, you know, it's your art, it's your school. Um, but this one, I feel like it's gonna be just uneven. But just for the sake of time, I don't want to go back and fix it. But you know, I just want it like this. I just want it to stand out from like the other schools. Okay. Yeah. So this is how it kind of looks right now. You can already see like the face, you know. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like it's still not shaped all the way. Like I said, once we do the eyes right now, and like the cheekbones come out, and like you make the nose, and then it's gonna look like a skull sim. So right now, this is just like the shape. I just appreciating how like it already kind of looks like a face. It's cool to like see like how we got from a ball to how we got to like this. You know, that's cool. All right, so and again, like if like I'm gonna keep shaping it as I go. So this isn't the like right now. I'll probably after do the eyes, I'll probably like push this out more and make this rounder. Like you know, just as long as you do want to make sure like the back is a thick part and then over here it's like thinner part. That you do want to make sure you do, um, just for like the sake of like doing the skull form. But everything else is just gonna kind of you could always just change it um or it's gonna change as you do the face. So this is my favorite part. This is like the face. Well, actually, painting is maybe my favorite part, but I guess when it like the in terms of like sculpting it, I like the face is like fun to do because this is where like your own imagination comes out. Because you know, like I said in the beginning, if you want them like it's up to you how you want the teeth. It's up to you how you want the nose. It's up to you how you want the eyes. So this is all up to you. Okay, but this is just how I'm gonna do it. So all right. So the next step now, we're gonna work on the eyes. Okay. So again, just smooth the whole thing again with water. You just wanna make sure everything's smooth before smooth this out. Okay. All right, so now where the eyes are, where like you put your fingers to shape the eyes. So let's see if I could show y'all with the angle that I'm in. So what I'm gonna do is with the eyes, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but since it's like this is like super DIY, you know, I don't wanna. There's like no tools. You basically don't need any tools. You just your hands are your tools. Um, what I do when I'm doing with the eyes. But if you want to get more technical, you could like use like potting tools or even a pen. Honestly, with the nose, I am going to use a pen. But you know, if you're using your thumb, you just where you had print like kind of trace the eyes as we were like making the face. You kind of just want to keep like sculpting it to make it more like to make the dent. You want to make it more dented, right? You want to keep going, make them like deeper. And you can do that, and you do that by just going like this with your thumb. You're just going in circles like that, and it just keeps. And if it's not doing that, just add more water to your fingers. And like I said, you don't want to add water. Like you don't want to dip this. You add water only to your hands. So you just want to keep like going like that. All right. So now what I'm gonna do? Make the eyes and see this is kind of breaking apart. It's all good. We just put it together again. Right. So now to make the to make this part, what you want to do is you're gonna get your thumb and then this finger, your index finger is gonna go in. Like okay, basically your index finger is gonna meet your thumb at the eye from the inside. So your index finger is gonna fill the eye socket from the inside. And so do that right now. I'm gonna adjust my camera, but if you feel the eye socket, like you're good. If not, you're gonna need to like keep shaping with your thumb a little bit more until you could feel the eye socket from the other side. Because you're gonna need to do that to okay. All right, so let's see. There we go. Okay. So if you feel like the eye socket from the inside, that's good. You want that. If not, just keep going like this. And you should feel the eye socket from the inside with your index finger. There you go. You just go, keep going like that. Okay, now you're going to, with your thumb, your index finger is going to be inside because it's kind of guiding your thumb. So you're just going to, with your thumb very slowly, you're just going to push. You're just going to push. And you want your thumb to come out to the other side because I'm going to make the eyes hollow. So see my thumb is going in. Okay. So now my thumb, okay. There you go. See, I did one. Now the other one. There you go. All right. Now the excess clay that comes out to the other side, and you could just like with your fingers, you know, just go and you're gonna shape the eyes like as you go. So even if right now they just seem weird and like uneven, that's okay. So all this excess clay that comes out, you're gonna need that. So you know, inside, just get it from the inside. You're gonna need the excess clay for the teeth, if you want teeth like that. If you want teeth like this, I mean, because I made the teeth. Here's the camera. Okay, here it is. I made the teeth like this with the excess clay from the eyes. I just made like I'll show you right now. But okay, so see how I did this? Okay. All right. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so now we're gonna shape like the cheekbones. So let's see. So right now, like I have the eyes, right? And with your thumbs again, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stick your stick your thumbs in the eyes, like all the way through, and you're gonna like push out like this to the sides. Like fold your thumbs and you're gonna push out because that's what's gonna make the cheekbones. And you're also gonna shape the eyes as well. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna put my thumbs in here. I'm just gonna push out softly, of course. Um, and just add water if you need to. And it's okay if like you don't like the eyes right now, because like I said, we're just shaping, and then you could adjust the eyes. I'm just shaping it right now, just to give you an idea. Okay. So I'm just smoothing out like the clay because I got some cracks as as I was doing this, but you already know what to do. When there's cracks, you just smooth it out with water. So I'm still like pushing it out to make the cheekbones. So basically like that, like what I did, I'm going like that, and the this part of your thumb as you go out is what's shaping the cheekbone. So you don't have to do anything. Basically, you're just going like that slowly, and it shapes it. All right. So this is how it looks. See how it kind of like the cheekbone shape is right here? All right. So that's what you want. You want it like that. So I'm gonna adjust it in a bit, but right now I'm satisfied with that right now. So I'm just gonna leave that like that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'm doing now, I'm just fixing like the bottom. Like sometimes it just gets messed up as you're forming like other parts of the skull because you know you're just pulling at it, but you just go and fix it again. And, so yeah, just get it, like face it and see if you're liking it. You know, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like looking at it to see if I'm liking the shape. Okay. So also like as you're shaping the eyes, you could also like now like adjust the top of it with your thumb again. Instead of doing the cheekbones, you could go up now and like adjust the brain, like the top. So right now, like my thumbs are going in and into the eye sockets, and then I'm just pushing up with my thumb. My thumbs are like pushing up right now because now I'm like forming the brain and like the head. I'm just making it rounder, you know, making it look more like a skull. So as you go, you just see what parts need like more clay or what parts need more forming. Right. So I was just forming right now. I was just forming it and see how like already like this is this got like uh out again like the bottom. Basically I'm just gonna push it back in. Like how I showed y'all in the beginning. I'm just pushing it back in. Um, it happens. It just as you it's very like the clay is it's super like soft and stuff that it's just hard not to just the form kind of gets not messed up, but you can always just go back and fix it. All right, so okay, so now I'm kind of liking how it looks. And this part looks kind of weird right there. It's okay. Okay, now it looks kind of like a school, right? And then as long as it sits like upright, you're good. And yeah, as you can see, it's kind of crooked, but you could always kind of I might leave it crooked like this, because since this one came out like really like straight and stuff, like maybe I want this one crooked, just so they could be different. But of course, can always fix that. It's up to you. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna do the nose. And the nose part, you don't. I guess you could use a pen. I don't have a pen right now with me, but I'm just gonna use like the tip of a paintbrush. So the nose is really easy. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna draw an upside down heart. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna draw an upside down heart where you want the nose to be. So just to keep it like a traditional skull, I'm gonna draw it right here between the eyes. So I'm just drawing. Okay, see, I already didn't like that, so I just moved it out. And basically the thinner the point is, the better for this. So you just draw like an upside down heart, basically, for the nose. This is where your own style comes in. If you don't want it to be like this shape of a nose, you could just also make it whatever you want. Or maybe you don't want a nose. It's up to you. All right, so I just traced the upside down heart, but it's better to use the pen because with the pen you could actually like it pokes it also, so you could like push it out if you want to make it hollow. So I'm gonna go grab a pen. But yeah, make sure basically it's gonna look like this, the nose, right? An upside down heart. Let me grab a pen. Okay. So with the pen, it's just easier because, like I said, yeah, definitely use a pen or something pointy. Or have an adult do it for you if it's you don't wanna have a sharp object. You don't wanna hurt yourself, so just a pen, just easier. So what I'm doing, I'm just like shaping it with the pen. I'm just making the heart. So you might have to do this a couple times for it to So yeah, you just want to keep going and keep tracing it because I'm gonna make the nose hollow. So you're gonna push this out. So as you go, you know, you're gonna have excess clay. You just you just take it out. And it's okay if the nose looks weird. So now I'm just like poking it in because I want the nose to be hollow. So that's why I'm poking it. I'm putting the pen in, like it's coming out through the other side because I want there to be a hole for the nose. So this is how it looks right now, but you see. So right now I'm just taking out the clay. To just keep going. There you go. See? Now you made it into the heart-shaped nose. Like that. And it's okay if that you could always move it. You could do that later though, because it's your okay. And even with that's what I like about the pen is that you could like keep making like the excuse me, the heart shaped with the pen. You just kind of roll it like that to kind of make, you know, like the arches, the angles. Like so with you just roll it like this. You just keep rolling the pen. And it just shapes it. Like the pen really helps shape the nose. It's basically the only tool you need is your hands and a pen and water. That's it. And then with the pen, you can also just, you know, make it more pointy on the top. Just adjust it. And of course, you want to get the excess clay out if you need it later, or you know, you just to make it cleaner. You don't want like clay to be just hanging in there. Like, right. So I'm taking the excess clay out. How does that look? Looks cool. The eye got a little bit messed up. It happens. You just go back, smooth it out. So you're right now, yeah, I'm shaping the face, but like the end before we like let it dry, we're gonna go back and, you know, make sure everything's even if you want it to be. So we're gonna go back and check at the end, either at the end. So yeah, just work on the nose if you want more. For the sake of time, like I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. All right, so that's kind of like the nose shape. And now for the mouth, basically you could do the mouth different ways. I'm gonna show you how to add teeth, but just because of like the time, I'm not gonna like it. The teeth are very time consuming. So if you're making a skull and you're adding teeth like this, the teeth is probably gonna be like one of the parts that's gonna take the most time. But that's because you're doing it one by one with clay. So you know. But right now, basically, before I do that, I'm just gonna like outline the mouth with a pen. And it's okay, like if you get ink on it, it's not a big deal. But usually, yeah, see how I'm just like outlining it, just to see where the mouth is. And basically, I'm just making like a smile, like a kind of like a banana peel. That's what you want, like a banana peel, or like a canoe type shape, right? You just want to outline like the smile. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like that. Like I said, it's just the outline. It's just to guide you. This is basically just to guide you. All right. All right, so the way you add teeth is with like the access clay that you have. You're just gonna take like a little piece. Depends on the shape you want your teeth to, but I'm doing it just traditional, like, you know, basic looking teeth. Yeah, so I'm just the piece. I just take a little piece and I'm just making it into like a kind of like a well, like a tooth shaped, right? You just want to make it like a teardrop or a square. So I'm just doing it like that. And then I'm just basically what I'm gonna do. So basically what you do, you just take it and you just kind of stick it. You stick it on the smile. You know, you do that one by one for, you know, however many teeth you want. So like I said, this is the part that's, you know, the most time consuming. And, you know, when you're making the teeth, you know, make sure they're smooth. Because once it dries, it dries. So you just want to make them, you know, smooth. And it just sticks a lot by itself. So, you know, like I just added 2 teeth, right? And right now it looks weird, but when it dries, it looks like this. So that's what you could do. You know, you could keep doing that one by one, add teeth, top, bottom, whatever. Or what else you could do? I'm just gonna take it off. Just that was just like I was just showing you. What another thing you could do? So another thing you could do is that you could get like you could just keep using your pen or something like a tool like a pottery tool or a sculpting tool basically. And you can make you could just basically, I'm just gonna use the pen because it's pointier. Excuse me. You could just basically outline them. See what I'm doing? I'm just outlining them. You could also do that as well. Yeah, this isn't coming out like the best, but you get the idea, right? You're just kind of outlining it. You could do that. It's easier. It is easier with the sculpting tools because it's meant for that. You could use the pen too. It's just gonna take more time. Or you could also like make shapes there, right? You could make it like I don't know. I don't know, maybe like add little hearts here, make it like hearts at the bottom, something like that. But you get the idea, right? Like you could make the smile, you can make it however you want. I usually I really love adding teeth because once it's first of all it's because it's like more traditional, and secondly it's because I just think it looks really dope once you know your skull's all painted and the teeth are like the only thing that aren't painted, and it makes it pop and it just makes it look more like a skull. But that's just my personal preference. But yeah, you get the right now. I'm not gonna work on the teeth, but I just want to show you how to do that. You know, if you want to put the teeth, just put little keep going with the clay. Um, so yeah, that's basically it. So okay, so pretend I have like the teeth there, okay? So once the teeth are done, like you're good, like that's it. You've shaped your skull. So now the final part is just the part that you just kind of kind of wet your hand again, your fingers, because we want to make it all smooth. So this last part is where you go and you just check that everything is like, you know, just how you like it, right? If you know, I'm like, okay, like for me, I'm like, okay, I kind of want a little bit more cheekbone, so I'm just gonna do what I did in that step, and then just with my thumbs, just kind of keep going out, so I get the cheekbone shape that I want. You know, sometimes I'll have to like push it in. And then even the eyes, you could just keep going. You can make it rounder, just shape them a little bit more. And even the cool thing about skulls too is that you can make them, you can make like individual expressions, you know, if you want to make it look surprised, angry, you know, you could also, with the eyes, you could just do that, or I don't know, add some eyebrows, or add a mustache. You know, that'd be cool. I actually never seen a sugar skull with a mustache. That'd be pretty awesome to see. So if you do that, like, send us a pic, and we'll put it up on the page. Um, so yeah, that you basically that's all. That's it. You're just smoothing it out. So right now, I like how it looks. So I'm gonna work, like, just do this a little bit more. The back, sculpt it. I've never done pottery, but I feel like it's kind of similar, and I think I would like the feeling of it in my hands too. So I'll probably check that out. So yeah, so just the brain, you know, I'm just pushing it again, and my fingers are in the eye socket, my thumb, and I'm just like pushing it. There you go. Just see how you know you do. That's why it's your skull. You're gonna see how you like it, and you don't want to. The thought that you don't want to have is you don't want to keep being like, oh, I want it to look like a skull, or as you go, you don't be thinking like, oh, it doesn't look like a skull at all, because really what you're thinking is you're thinking of like traditional skulls, right? Or not traditional, but you're thinking of like just the average skulls you see every day, right? You you if you want to be unique, if you want to like make it stand out, you don't want it to be like an average looking skull. You want it to be you want it to be you want it to be different. Um so yeah, don't have try not to have that thought, you know, oh, it's not looking like a skull, because I think that would restrict you and restrict your imagination. So just see what you come up with. Okay, so okay, cool. For like the sake of time, I'm just showing you like, okay, we got this shape. The mouth isn't there, but I'm gonna do that later. I'm just gonna add the teeth. But you see how that is, and I'll fix the eye right now. But you see how that is? Just basically you have your skull shaped. You have your skull shape. You see how it's like thinner here? Yeah. So that's it. That's basically how you make a skull. Um, takes time and it's fun. You know, it's something fun to do. So yeah, that's the skull part of sculpting, and like this part is, so basically if you get this clay, I'll show you again. You get this clay, it's gonna take like this skull that I just sculpted right now. It'll probably dry in like an hour or two if you get this type. But for other types of clay, you're gonna have to wait like a day or two for it to dry, and you could just let it out wherever. It doesn't have to be outside or not in the sun. Don't do that. Don't put it in the sun because it's gonna crack. So just, you know, somewhere inside. outside in the porch, whatever. Um, it'll take, if you get that clay, it'll take a few hours, but any other clay, it'll take some days, but just keep checking on it, You definitely don't want to paint it when it's still wet. So make sure it's hard, like, when it's dried, right? Like it could break if you drop it, basically. So just wait till it gets to this kind of level till you could like paint and decorate it. If you're still here with me, thank you. I guess I could paint this now, but basically that was a workshop, just the writing and the skull making. So that was a workshop. Thank you for joining me. I'm Rosie from the Los Angeles Poet Society, and Feliz Dia de los Muertos, Happy Day of the Dead. I hope you have a very, very great Sunday, and that you enjoyed this workshop, and that it brought you some inspiration or creative outlet to you. And it was my pleasure, and I hope to do this again. Thank you so much. That was it. And I'm gonna stick around a little bit more because I'm gonna paint it. It'll probably take me like, I don't know. I'm not gonna rush, but I'm still gonna be live on here painting and just talking, you know. If you still wanna like log in. But that was it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I'll see y'all at the next often. That would be cool. I really like using my hands, so it would be very much a poetry type craft type workshops for sure. Also, please submit to the LGBTQ journal that we're doing right now. I think the deadline is today, but we're gonna extend it for at least a week more to get more submissions in. It's just to provide more like creative outlet. I know we're like in very stressful times right now, so I just want to keep that outlet there for for everyone. So please submit to that. It's our first journal, and I'm the editor, but it's the Los Angeles Poet Society project, and yeah, it'd be awesome to see all y'all's work there and to be featured. And also, there's a contest also for the journal that is an art contest. Basically, if just send us your art to be featured in the cover. It's like a contest, so if we pick your art, basically you'll be the cover of the journal, and then you'll get a prize. I believe it's a gift card to Pal's bookstore in Portland, but you don't have to be there. You can just buy it online. And an LA Poet Society shirt as well is like the prize, and just being on the cover of the journal. It's pretty rad. So yeah, just keep sending that work, and we'll probably have those out up for at least a week more. So yeah, thank you again for joining me. I'm Rosie. It was a pleasure hanging out with y'all, and I'm gonna stick around for a little bit more to paint my skull. You're welcome to just paint with me, join. If not, I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much. Much love. Bye. Hey y'all, that was the end of the workshop, but I'm just gonna paint just cause I want to paint. I want to paint this, and I have an altar at my house. I can show y'all, but I want to add the skull to the altar, so it'll be fun. Cool. So let's see. So I have no idea how I'm going to paint this, but that's the fun part. But just as I go, I'll see. I'm going to paint it blue because that's what called to me. Sometimes that's how I do stuff. I just, whatever calls to me, I just do it, or I gravitate towards it. There you go. Okay, I'll just of course you can paint it however you want, but I really like sugar skulls because no sugar skull is the same. I mean, maybe yeah, some are, but like add different colors or designs on there. I think it's so cool. You could really express yourself with the skull. I like to write. I write poetry, but I really like just crafts too. I sew a lot too. But I wouldn't consider I don't consider myself a painter, but I enjoy painting. I'm enjoying myself right now. I enjoy this. Yeah, I think I want this skull blue. So once your skull dries, you can paint it right away. That looks dope already. It's not even done. All right. Cool. This music is so relaxing to me. I usually listen to everything, but I really like trance and EDM. And of course, like punk and metal. And I also really like this guitar instrumental. So I'm getting some on the teeth. I don't really mind. I'll probably go back and add white paint on the teeth. Right now I'm just really excited and I just want to paint. But if you were careful or whatever, you could take a skinny paintbrush like this one and very intricately paint around the teeth so you won't get any. But I'm just not like that. I just want it. I was trying to think what sign that's very Impulsive? I think that's my sun sign. It might be my Taurus, actually. I just get really excited and I just want it, but and then I have to go back and fix it with like white paint. But I don't mind. That's a thing. I don't mind. Go ahead. I hope y'all had a fun and safe Halloween, whatever y'all did. That's cool. So let's see. Just gonna add a little more paint. And this is acrylic paint. It's really it's fast drying that I could just paint over it. So cool. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do. I like flowers, so. I'm just waiting to take questions. I'm just getting. I'm gonna add a flower. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add a flower right here on the top. I think I'm gonna add glitter as well. At some point. I really like glitter a lot. I'm just making a little flower at the top. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add some petals here. Right, I have a little flower. It doesn't look like too much like a flower right now, but I'm gonna add glitter. And I think I'm gonna add some yellow to it. Or actually, you know what? I'm gonna add a pop-on ball. No, maybe not. I want it to be. I want there to be yellow in here. This paintbrush would probably be better than. I think if you want to like add like designs, like a thinner paintbrush is probably the best. Because this one was a little bit thicker and it was kind of hard to draw the flower. Like I said, we're just relearning as we go. Alright, I'm gonna add more pom-pom. Let's see. Should I add a pom-pom? I kind of like it actually. Maybe at the end I'll change my mind. I think right now I'm just gonna focus on painting. I just want to see how it looks. Okay. Now for the eyes. I'm gonna outline this color. See the burgundy. That's looking so fun. Looks kind of cool. So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna do the nose the same color. I think the burgundy and the blue are just gonna be the main colors for my school. It's kind of what was calling to me. Cute. So I'll try to have some fun. I like how it looks so far. I think. Let's see. I think there's only like the flower petals just red. And then add some yellow with the designs a little bit later. So now I kind of made like the flower, but I didn't really like the yellow. So I'll probably add like glitter. I'll probably do that actually. I'll put like glitter on the outside like that, around it. That looks really cute. Yeah, that's how it's coming out. Still, I love it. I love making sugar sculpts. Just expression, creativity, and it's just therapeutic. Just, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this, but I'm gonna end the video because I think it's almost 3 hours. If you have stuck around, thank you. Thank you for sticking around if you're still here and hanging with me. It's really fun. Definitely when we could all meet in person. This is a really fun look up to do in person. And let's see what your schools and so, I'm gonna add more color because right now it's looking like Spider-Man. Like that. So I'm gonna color and like it's gonna look cool. Alright. Oh shoot, my paint fell. Alright, thanks for is it what's for me? Yeah. catch you later. Peace. Love you all. Take care. See y'all later.